Who are the names?
You got Jared Napolitano
Jared Napolitano
on dark side
on dark side
versus
versus
Connor Britton on light side.
Connor Britton on light side.
Team versus team.
AOBS and Yoda meeting.
Team versus AOBS.
What is it?
OB community
Agents of Black Sun and Yoda meeting.
versus AOBS.
Okay, so you each said the opposite of the opposite.
Okay, Connor is playing OB community
Connor's playing OB commuting.
versus JNAP playing
AOBS.
AOBS.
Right. Okay.
Connor's playing Yoda commuting,
He's no.
according
He's
to
playing.
the
He's playing OB commuting. Is what
accor
is what.
according to the
Okay, so I know from Connor that he's playing Yoda commuting, but like Dan is
Oh,
saying,
Yoda.
yeah, yeah.
You sure?
Dan is saying OB commuting. It is Yoda,
I follow. I was saying
unless he has
I'm like
another decklist error.
just like that would be a hell of a deck list there. It's like according to the deck matrix,
Dan
he's
is just
playing.
holding his hands in shock.
You are good to go. So, you want to jump over where I'm at?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go take some pictures. Remember, please have Justin give you like some trivia.
Okay, so Justin, we have three things to give away.
Yep.
We have the Epic Duel, the
Hey.
Bright Hope, and the Vader's Obsession.
So, Hayes, Chew, Apollo, and Johnny, Jelson.
So Hayes, Apollo, and Johnny, and Justin.
Oh, that mouse is on light side playing against Sam Olsen.
Against who?
Sam Olsen.
Batmouse is on the light side playing against Sam Olsen.
Dan, is it allowed for them to be
Let's see,
for them to have the Twitch stream up on the table like that?
Nope, too far. Too far.
Misho is asking if it's allowed to have the Twitch stream up on the table.
Bring him before me. What? No, he's not. I'm gonna go yell at him.
Yeah, I'm like, what is Connor doing? There's no way he's allowed to do that.
Good old Connor.
It's like he knows we can see him, right? Like we can see we can see his phone on the camera. Oh man. Anyway, are we live right now?
I don't know. I think so.
I would assume so. So, welcome everybody. We were just laughing at the fact that on the bottom half of your screen there we got Connor Britton, Stubley, uh, who was watching the Twitch stream on his phone, which is like fine, right? When we're not playing, but it's like okay, you can't put the Twitch stream on the table so it's on camera for the Twitch stream while we're doing the thing.
As
So
somebody who got in trouble for that Texas Mini Worlds, I can tell you cannot do that.
yeah, I was like, it's one thing on GIMP, right? Where like it could be on another window and you don't know, but like to put it like I was like, I mean, I guess in fairness, he was putting it on the table so Jared could see it too, right? So it's no unfair advantage.
Yeah.
But anyway, uh, we got Connor here up against Jared Napolitano, um, two teammates. We got a communing deck, looks like Yoda communing
Yep.
against Agents of the Black Sun for JNAP. Um, JNAP well known for this particular deck. Um, Connor not so much for Yoda communing, but I know we saw it in the hands of Justin Desai earlier today, and it looks like a still pretty powerful deck even with the changes.
Connor was trying to explain to me how Yoda Community uses Camino and Jedi Business. He didn't recognize me.
I mean, you're totally different dude without the goatee. So
Well, that's fair.
it's like Star Trek, right? Like it was evil mirror universe you before, and now
I like that reference. That's great.
made on the Star Wars stream.
What would Q do?
So Connor's hand, he's got an Anakin, got a Rey, got a Luke, but Space Luke. Onita, quite a mercenary. All right. What do you think the approach is in this matchup as someone who's played a lot of Yoda commuting?
Well, to be honest with you, he's got to win on the ground, which is a feat that I could not do in this matchup with Yoda commuting.
Yeah, because like right, Luke is great in space, but Agents of Black Sun's whole thing is trying to get Luke to come to a battleground site to keep him flipped. Yeah, so
Yeah. They just do way too many pings, way too fast, way too often.
hmm,
Like, there's no way that Yoda can keep up with that. Also, they can go a lot wider than Yoda can for the most part. Um, Yoda has better characters one for one, but typically the AOBS has more characters with probably better utility on them than the Yoda commuting.
okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Mace is really good, Qui-Gon's really good, all those guys are really good, but they typically are on islands, and
Hmm,
AOBS tends to stack sites and then beat
right.
down people. And if you can't, if you if you play in a way where AOBS can't do that, AOBS will spread out and pick you apart.
That makes sense. We'll see if Connor can break serve here. Notably, it did not look to me like he had either the big Jedi in his hand. So if he's
That's
gonna
gonna be
attack,
rough.
yeah, if he's gonna attack on ground, it's gonna be tough for him to do. Also, I think that ship is a Leia's resistance transport.
Yep.
Maybe at the very front.
That's
It
not
looks like
super
an
scary if it is.
yeah, it looks like an AI, so
We got the Vigo coming down to get the site.
yeah. Although I guess interesting thing you could do or no, because it's a capital, right? So you can't deploy it to the ground. So
Well, you can to a docking bay. It moves and deploys as a starfighter.
yeah, but there won't be any Coruscant docking bay here, so
I mean, Stubley could randomly float an insurrection in a spaceport docking bay, I guess. I don't think that's likely, though.
yeah, he's really got us if he
Part of
does
my
that.
mission.
Yeah, I would be very, very, very shocked in a very good way if that happened. That would be something I did not see coming.
So I feel like at least the good thing for Yoda commuting, and really all the community decks, I guess, is that you don't give up any icons. So
Well, at
agents
least
is
not right away. Yoda Community gives up a
yeah,
ton of icons mid game.
right. But I'm saying like right here on turn one, it's kind of awkward for Agents of the Black Sun in
Yeah.
terms of their movement and how much they can draw and all that stuff.
Did Stubley play the pay two shield for the Emperor?
He did pull Goldenrod over there.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, I mean your team is definitely going to win this round. That is 100%. So although it looks like Janet may have activated his Coruscant Caesar's palace because he moved them to the sewer, which is not free, so he had to pay for all that. And he does get to
That could be
wipe.
a
He had to do his wipe
huge
activation.
that could be a huge blow if he doesn't have his sights.
Yeah. He has to do his wipe activation, and he did already pull the Caesar's bounty with the fanfare shield, so he
Like
already is set up defensively.
JNamp not finding his correct sights could be a path for Connor to win the match.
Looks like Connor is using his commuting peak and sees the Naboo site on top of his force pile. Jaynep a little confused that Yoda was at Yoda's hut, but as we discussed, like,
He's just doing it as a
yeah,
shortcut to show that he's used it.
yeah, it's like, well, thematically, Yoda is at the hut, like,
I guess.
Dan didn't buy that argument either when I made it with Desai. I was doing the same thing. So
Yeah, I don't see it.
three, looks like three Serene Jedi in Connor's deck.
That's a
Uh,
lot. That's a lot of ones.
it's a lot of ones. I mean,
Cause like Yoda Communing has low destiny early on.
yeah, it's interesting because I think there was a Boss Nash Chamber. Saw that. He's pulling the Camino whole package. Um, Now, would you go to space with Luke right away here?
Absolutely not. I would just draw a hand. I would get activation and draw hand.
Makes sense to me. I'll say it looks like he has the Naboo Boss Nash Chamber in there as well. In his deck, though, he didn't pull it. So,
Like, Zuckuss and Mist Hunter is a real threat, and Jared may be playing the regular one instead of the combo one. So Luke in space is not safe.
I mean, we discussed that in the last match. Like, Luke Rebellion Soap is actually kind of fine against Zuckuss, especially early.
Well, you mean you get a power destiny, but like if he's got
No,
normal.
you get an attrition destiny and you just kill Zuckuss.
Oh, because your destiny is a zero,
Your
it's
your
reduced.
battle, yeah, we
Yeah.
discussed before. Your total battle destiny is zero, but you still get attrition, and they're not immune. So they
It's
have
only
to
if they cancel your destiny that your attrition destiny doesn't count, right?
correct. They have to
Okay.
cancel your destiny or do something like Caesar where you don't get to draw destiny.
Right. Exactly. And and
In
and
order
then
to
and then the attrition destiny just goes away.
yeah, and then like yeah, I don't even think you get to draw it. I think it just doesn't happen.
No, no,
Um,
you still draw it. Like Gimp will
oh,
force the draw
get lets you
of the
draw it. Okay,
attrition destiny. Yeah.
yeah, but but the attrition doesn't apply because you do not have attrition to add to, but
Correct.
you do when your battle destiny is zero. It's just zero.
Okay.
But you can still add to the attrition zero.
Okay.
So this one's like I think like it's possible you could do it. I would I would
Although
tend to agree with you that I
I think I
wouldn't,
would rather
but
add the power destiny and then reinforce Luke and then blow out Zuckuss.
mm, sure. Yeah, and you do decide that before the destinies are actually drawn. So
Of course.
Connor's gonna recirculate, peak, leave it on top of force. The communing peak thing is I really like that personally. That's my
It's pretty good with Ray.
yeah. I mean,
Has been for a long time.
well, I think the part that I enjoy the most is it's really good even without even not with Ray. Like you can use it to track through your force pile and
Oh
get
yeah.
things all stacked up and everything, just move things around. Like I don't know. I'm
It's also
aware
good
that
with
that part is
Mirax. It's also good with Mirax because you can peek
yeah,
at the Destiny and you know if it's a high Destiny and then you can basically cycle to Destiny.
yeah. So I got Connor. Probably saw a high destiny that he didn't want and then used it for escape pod and lost escape pod to the Zizor ping.
It looks like he's got a second sight.
Yeah, that's the Zizor's Palace. So yeah, he must have activated the Zizor's Palace in the first turn and then
Well, lucky for him, he drew into it. It would have been real awkward if he had that as the couple of force that he used that turn.
interesting white sleeves. I wasn't allowed to use them years ago. Well, times have changed, my man. I could not speak to why you were not allowed to use white sleeves
It's
at a past event, but
yeah.
wait, why did that Force Lightning go straight to used? Oh, maybe that's his hand? I'm pretty sure Emperor pulled a Force Lightning and then JNet put it. It's to peek at his Force Pile, of course. I can say as a judge, enforcement wise, I don't see easy to cheat with white sleeves. Well, then the cheating's the problem, not the sleeves.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
let's restrict
like
the
you don't
cheating
have
and
backwards cards. Like it's one thing in Magic the Gathering where you have backwards dual-sided cards and you can see them through the white sleeves, but in Star
right,
Wars you have the same back on everything in your deck.
yeah. It's like if your cards are marked, like well then your cards are marked. That's different than
Yeah.
just blanket. I was like, I don't know that there's a blanket sleeve ban that I would be
I
interested in. I
I've
guess
never
aside
heard of
from
that in Star Wars. Like
there
you just
is
can't play Yu-Gi-Oh sleeves, I think.
well, Yu-Gi-Oh sleeves don't fit. So
Exactly.
um but I think the one thing that I would say though is the they used to make, and I don't even actually know if they do anymore. They used to make sleeves with highly mirrored backs, like very shiny, glossy ones,
Yeah.
so that you, and those is like okay, because then you can pick it up, and even though you can't read the card in the surface of them, you can see the color, which could definitely be enough to say, oh, it's a red card, right? Versus it's a location. You'd be able to identify that difference. Um, so I could see disallowing those sleeves, but like pretty much all competitive card games disallow those. So yeah, clear sleeves. I mean, clear sleeves have the problem of like there are printing differences between the original cards that we can't control for, but I haven't seen that difference really be distinguishable in white sleeves. So
And if anything, it's just a shade, and you can't really tell that easily. I don't think. Like if you've got a marked card, the judge will tell you to change it, obviously. But
yeah, fully clear. I think you could, I feel like you could probably tell. I think I have before. I think I have before had that situation when you can tell them. Um, so yeah, clear sleeves, I would agree. Wouldn't do clear. Plain old black matte. Yeah, I use the PC sleeves personally because I think those are super cool. It's a great donation program reward personally, I think.
I think it's time to give away the first of our prizes. Do you have a trivia
Yeah.
question?
Uh, well, let me see if I can find the answer to it before I ask it, because
That
I
would be
would
good.
need to know. Um,
I have one.
okay, go for it.
How big is an Imperial class Star Destroyer? Note, it is on the lure of an Imperial class Star Destroyer.
You want like length then, yeah?
Yeah, what's on the lure of the Imperial class Star Destroyer card?
Oh, well, now I want to know. He's right. It sure does say.
That is correct. You get
African hair. Is
you get a Bright Hope.
that a signed Bright Hope?
It is a signed Bright Hope by Apollo Chu and Johnny Chu.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Ryan will put you down for that. So looks like Anakin and Rey come down against Caesar with Anakin's lightsaber. Uh, Connor will draw after getting Caesar's bountied. Yeah, makes a lot more sense to have it on Anakin. See how Connor's hand has improved now. Got to use pop pull and some more draws, so probably a fair bit better. That looked like a Grimtosh.
Interesting. I like it.
Maybe I'm just seeing things. I definitely see it disarmed. There goes a Biff Shuffle and a Qui-Gon. Hujix, hear me, as I think it was Hujix actually. He does have an Odin combo as well, and a quite a mercenary, so won't be worried about Dr. E. One last pack. I think that was keep your eyes open also. So hand with a lot of tricks for Connor, but unfortunately almost
No.
nothing in terms of nouns.
Yeah, he's
Like,
he's got no meat. He's got a lot of bones, but no meat.
well, JNAP getting a look at his force pile again. I feel like underratedly, the Force Lightning pull is a really important piece of Emperor Palpatine as it relates to this deck. Like obviously the Destiny 6, right? Like that's clearly the case to make over the Emperor V. But like being able to pull a card every turn and use it with the objective seems like surprisingly important. But I don't think the Emperor V lets you do anything like that.
No, but people have been playing Force Lightning and AOBS going all the way back to Dark Surgeon.
Oh yeah, no, not new tech. I think mostly it's just like,
It just
you know,
is
you
more
look,
functional now.
yeah, you look at the Emperor V, right, and you're like, well,
I'm very underwhelmed by that card, and I think most of the players who play AOBS are too.
yeah. He's like the only thing you really get out of this is cancel projection of Skywalker.
Just not worth it. Like maybe
Yeah.
play one of, and then all the rest Destiny 6. But like then like what happens when you draw that instead of a Destiny 6? You just feel horrible.
Yeah. You could if you like if
And
you got enough
and,
agents out, you
and
could
AOBS has really low Destiny other than the interrupts and effects
in Emperor.
and Emperor. Yeah. That's why I think you really need the Emperors that are Destiny 6 to pump the Destiny to make it actually a scary deck.
Seems perfectly reasonable to me. Yep, I agree with that, Ryan. With the whenever we get the new Destiny 6 Emperors, they will at least still have a pull. So I don't know what the Emperor's back, what the Empire's back is going to do in this deck, but at least it's something.
Hope so.
So we got Jango Fett and Cad Bane joining Prince Azizor. I didn't see if Janab used his draw off of Shadows already.
He has weapon on Anakin, right?
Yeah, Saber on Anakin.
Okay. Do we know if it's a Jedi saber or Anakin's lightsaber?
I'm pretty sure it's an Anakin's lightsaber, but um, it was an AI art though, so possibly not. Oh, there's a P-59 and a Battle Order First Strike combo, a card that personally I would say Janab is well known for.
Only a little bit.
Oh, it could be the Jedi lightsaber eye. That's true. They did get those because that was last month's AI. That was last month's foil, but Janep would have brought them to the people he knew were going to be here, including himself and Connor. So could well be a Jedi lightsaber AI. That's actually one of those AIs I think is like really good. He's going to activate one with tracking us. That's certainly could be helpful for the first strike. Looks like a hidden weapons in Janav's hand. That's good thing we got the Hear Me Baby, huh? He's gonna do the battle phase peak with the objective, a thing that many AOBS players forget, myself included.
That's the best part.
I don't know if it's the best part, but it's a really good part.
It's my favorite part. Because then you know the order in which to do your weapons actions.
Oh yeah, it's an incredibly important part. So,
Like there's no other deck you can do that with. None. Not during your battle phase, not where you can see the top of your deck that many cards down.
yeah, that's fair. So it looks like Ray, I think, got hit by P-59. Interesting that he didn't go straight for the hidden weapons. Four, I guess, actually only hits, right? That's probably why.
Yep.
All right, so Zizor hit by Anakin's lightsaber.
Hidden
I
weapons
wonder if
on
the
the Anakin.
well, I wonder if the next card's also like a four or something. Because if it is, then it doesn't matter, right?
There's Hear Me Baby to cancel, I think,
To
the hidden
cancel the hidden
weapons.
weapons. Yeah, I would.
I mean, that makes sense to me. Because otherwise, this is GG, unless he's got a Hujix.
He does have the Hoodix, but I mean, it'd still be really bad to kill Zizor and nothing else in this battle.
Yeah. like you just lose so much momentum to like have your board completely wiped, and
Yeah. I mean,
he just got two sack sites. It's
it's
already really
already gonna
bad.
be not good, yeah.
Yeah,
What the hell? What is that card? Connor's playing another AI that I don't know. I know ban is key, so should be 6 attrition, which Ray covers, so that part doesn't make a difference. Oh, is that an AI sand?
I don't know
That's
AIs. I can't tell you
that
anything about AIs. Sorry.
that is cool if it's an AI sand. That's awesome.
When I got back into the game, I had no cards and I had no foil slips, so I was very surprised to even learn there were AIs when I first got back in.
That's a good advertisement to play on Kemp, play some leagues and stuff. You get cool. That's the way many of us get exposed to these cool AI foils. So, all right, so let's peek at the hand. It looks like a solo and another saber. If I'm reading our Tom, you can certainly find an opponent. Tom will play you. That is true. All right, and then Django covers the 5 attrition, but we will get a Reflections 3 Boba Fett Bounty Hunter into hand.
I wonder how many of those JNAP is playing. I wouldn't bet on more than two, but it might
I
only be one.
also I also would not expect more than two.
I think it
Um,
might be only one, but I think it probably is two for a world championship where he's like the key figure in your beatdown squad.
it's tricky, right? Like, I guess the main reason that you would not want to play two is if you're expecting a lot of like barrier and perimeter scan.
Well, that's true, and there is a lot of perimeter scan. I don't think there's a lot of barrier because I think there's so many cancelers for barrier, and I feel like people have been playing a lot more blast or controls in recent
Um,
years.
did Janet lose a force to his imbalance? Oh no, he did not use the imbalance. Yeah, I think he was going to use the imbalance, but Downey retreat. So
What interrupt is Connor playing?
that is a disarmed.
Oh, cool. Sorry,
To be can to
I can't see it very well. There's a lot of glare on the screen.
you're fine. Yeah, canceled by Lana combo. Another combo card or another interrupt that I quite like
That's a good
as far,
interrupt. Cancels
as far
reacts.
as far as utility interrupts go.
Protects forfeit. Moves
Yep.
people around.
Ah, so it's another Ray. That's interesting. So we got to use pull here. So awkwardly for JNAP, if from what Ryan is telling us about the line of play there, uh Jared wanted to use imbalance combo to retrieve Caesar into hand. But Caesar's bounty has is a automatic action, and so that one has to apply first, which caused him to retrieve Caesar before he was ready to do so. Um, so Caesar is now
And Stubley didn't
retrieved.
have out anything to make him pay for the retrieval.
I would guess not.
Okay, because if he didn't, then it is automatic. But if he did, then it's optional.
That's still automatic, but you could choose not to pay for the
Right. That's what I mean
cost
by
on
optional.
CPS. Yeah, yeah. Well, so the Caesar's bounty retrieval would still have to happen first.
Oh no, I get
because
that.
because it's still an automatic action. But in any case, the Caesar is now in JNAP's deck. Um, now Aegis of the Black Sun is a very tracking heavy deck, I would say, to play it optimally. So I would not be surprised if JNAP is able to track back to his Caesar and draw it with his shadows, but he now has to do that instead of just getting the retrieval off of it and being able to just replay him and have everything ready to go. So slightly awkward sequence for him there. it almost feels like he was kind of counting on that hidden weapons going through. Did not maybe expect Hear Me Baby. Which honestly I can't really blame him for. There's only six what you might call scum decks in the field. I guess 10 total alien decks because of um the Shadow Collective builds. Or sorry, there's five Agents of the Black Sun, not four. So, but like only one Carbon Chamber, only one Court. So it's not a lot of decks that you might expect to hidden weapons in this meta.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's a good card though because there's been a lot more perimeter scans for Trample, and I think Trample has a bigger target on it than Hidden Weapons does.
Hmm.
So playing decks that rely on Hidden Weapons, I think, is safer unless you go up against heavy communing, because most communing tends to run Hear Me Baby for that very reason.
Yeah, because they don't really care that much about trample.
Correct.
No, I think all of that makes sense to me. So now we'll see how Jaina kind of readjust to that. He's going to no escape. Start with no escape for the Django Fett.
Yep.
Uh, it's going to pay some force. It's like we are going to be fighting, fighting, fighting. Five for probably Boba Fett Bounty Hunter. Yep. Two for a
Clash.
Clash of Sabers.
That's probably a good move right there.
Yeah, I like that.
Although actually waiting until the fight initiated and then doing it might have won him the game.
Um,
Because he's got
hmm,
Anakin with a lightsaber and Rey against who?
Django and Boba.
Right, exactly. So you clash Boba after the battle's initiated, and you're not getting even one destiny. And now he just moves away.
Hmm. I mean, I would have concern about the battle order here, right? Like, I guess he does have enough force to do it, as Tom pointed out. He still has like three saves, so
Yeah.
hmm. Yeah, I think you actually, I think you're probably right on that one, Brad. I think Connor may have jumped the gun on that one in terms of maximum payoff.
Yeah, like he trades the surprise factor for basically not even getting to drain now, and Boba Fett's gonna come back.
I mean, Boba being stuck on the table though is pretty good.
Yeah, but he's at the middle site. So I mean, where are you gonna go to? You gonna go to either side and then have him chase you around? Sure, but you're never gonna be able to win a fight against him because you just wasted your clash.
Yeah, but you can make him pay maintenance on the Boba Fett the whole game, which is also
Sure,
pretty good.
but he's not doing any damage to make that a problem.
Well, he's got Kit Fisto draining for three over in Naboo.
That's fair. Well, he just played that though.
Right, he played it this turn. He
Yeah.
he played it the previous turn, so he was going to get to do this drain this turn.
Yeah.
I think you are right, though. I think it would have been better to wait until the battle. Germs does make the point that he was possibly worried about another copy of Hidden Weapons.
Yeah, I thought about that, but like,
Well, actually, that could be disastrous, right? Like, if he Hidden Weapons Anakin, he can't play the Clash anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, if he like is captured or lost.
I think it's a calculated risk, to be honest
Yeah,
with you. Like,
it's a calculated risk of like you could
does he have another
potentially.
copy of the same card that he just used the previous turn in his 5 to 10 card hand? Because most AOBS only runs like maybe one.
Hmm.
It'll be interesting to see the deck list after the tournament's over.
Yeah, well, and these guys are teammates, so you could assume that they would have tested together. Connor may know that JNAP is likely to run multiple hidden weapons.
That's fair.
He certainly did just play multiple characters that can play hidden weapons. So,
Yeah.
but that's more likely for the extra battle destiny on Boba than anything.
Yeah. Looks like a Leia coming down. Is that right? It's Leia?
That is Leia, Rebel Princess, with a whole bunch of stuff written on her.
All right.
So there was a Han Chewie the Falcon in Connor's reserve deck. He has thus far resisted deploying anything to space, which I think makes some sense.
Well, they both have.
Um, yeah,
JNAP knows Connor can take him off to space with Luke and Ship. And Connor knows JNAP can take him out of space with Suckus and Mist Hunter.
yep. So now Kit Fisto playing the part of Mirax, letting Connor move destinies that he wants around,
Yep.
and he has Rey in play to be able to draw them if he wants them.
I wonder if Connor is playing Are You Brain Dead?
Um, it's not at its best in Yoda commuting.
Agreed.
It doesn't mean it's impossible that he could be playing it, but yeah, that's what I was thinking, Tom. Is like since he has three Serene Qui-Gons,
It's less
he's
likely.
leaning a lot more on Qui-Gon than on Mace, so I think it's less likely.
I agree. I just was interested to see if you thought he might have Are You Brain Dead?
It's possible, but I would say most likely not.
Okay.
I mean, Connor does have still the known Hoojix, right? Because he didn't actually have to Hoojix that other battle.
Right.
So it's almost like, well, you got to get through the Hoojix first anyway. So,
And I guess for me, that's part of why I'm saying like I think Connor like jumped the gun with the Clash because if he's got the Hoojix, like what's the worst thing that's going to happen if he's actually got the second hidden weapons after all?
hmm. I mean, I think there is a part of it where he needs the Ray to reset his hand and kind of get going again, because we noted before he was really low on any action, and he's only drawn like he hasn't taken too many actions in the draw phase to kind of recover from that. But with between Ray and Kit Fisto, he's got a lot of access to cards.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's time to give away another foil or another signed card. I mean, would
yep.
you like to do the trivia question this time?
I wasn't able to actually find a source for the answer for the one I was thinking of, so um,
We'll just do something simple. Doesn't have to be anything real complex. You know a lot about the game.
you say that, and now I'm like just completely blanking on, on everything. Um, all right, let's go with this. Um, assuming I can find the answer for it while JNAP is resolving his force push. Um, no, I know Gimp can do it, right? Yeah, sure can. Alrighty. Um, before she leaves the table, how many unique personas of Leia are in the game? Now, unique being differentiating V from non-V.
I don't know that I understand the question.
So we have Leia Rebel Princess on the table. That's
Okay.
one. Uh, General Leia Organa would be two. How many more unique personas of Leia are there?
Oh, okay. That's a great question. My number is somewhere between a lot and a few.
There's at least two.
Well, I figured
Okay.
that out. I think that's a safe bet considering you gave us examples of two.
Yes.
I can think of a few more.
Nobody's right yet. I really sincerely hope that they're all programmed into Gimp. It would be a real shame if one of them wasn't, and then I'm off because of that. I think they all are, though. By my count, Germs is the winner with 16.
I had no idea there were that many.
Most of them you will not see in open play because they're things like Jedi Pack Leia. Leia V, Leia V is a different animal, but Leia, Jedi Pack Leia, you'd have to have a real reason. Uh, Tarkin V, you have forgotten Bausch. You have forgotten uh Princess Organa. You have forgotten Prisoner 2187 twice.
Yeah, there are two of her.
You have also forgotten Daughter both times. Otherwise, Tarkin has the other 10, um, but the missing six that he has forgotten are those. In the meantime, we've got a U3PO to cover the drain in Naboo, Jabba's space cruiser, who which pulled Zizor, right? That was what happened.
I think so, and then he
So
shuttled him down.
yeah, I believe that's how we got flipped again.
And he's
And then,
not got a guy at the system, so he hasn't turned on the system, so he can't get beat down yet either.
clever, clever. He did pay his maintenance again. Now, notably here, Connor does have his clash in hand that he Onitad. So something he could do is if he can get another saber, he can do this battle, hit P59, hit somebody else, and then clash P59, and Leia Rebel Princess will end the battle
Yep.
because the other three are all aliens, if I have that correct. Should be Jango, Boba, and Cad Bane. And then the two characters that were hit will just immediately die.
That's a cool interaction.
Yeah, Leia Rebel Princess is kind of a dumb card in terms of how it operates. Or
Thank you, Decipher, for your parting gifts.
yeah, you shouldn't be able to cancel people's ability. That's not really that's not okay.
Yeah.
But here we are.
They made two cards that did that:
Mhm.
Tatooine Mall and Leia Rebel Princess.
It's only because EPP Mall is so good that we don't have to worry that much about Tatooine Mall.
Well, it depends if you're playing against like Scum, because I've seen some Scum
Sure,
decks that
sure.
play Tatooine Mall.
We play Tat Mall for piloting an independent starship, which doesn't cancel scum.
Yep,
Yep,
that's exactly right. I know
that's another
Ryan
cool
Sherrison
interaction.
was running that with Maul Sith Infiltrator, I think a year ago.
That's kind of a cool interaction. I like that. So, kind of trying to decide how he wants to handle this. He has the quite a mercenary in hand, so he can um take out the U3PO. Um, Dark Hours makes ability zero.
Connor just moves away. Probably smart.
Yep, I'm seeing that one now. And I think the distinction I would make with Dark Hours is that Dark Hours, well, No, Dark Hours is not is like it has a lot of narrow conditions, right? And you have to succeed destiny draws and
I
everything
think
to
Jared just
cover
sensed
it,
quite a
but
mercenary
I didn't even know that was vulnerable to sense. But that would be a logical play for him to make.
because there's quite a mercenary on top of the reserve, on top of the lost pile.
Oh, it's the cancel Ellis or stunning that's immune to sense. Ah, okay. So Jared willing to lose 3 force in order to cancel quite a mercenary, which is interesting.
Well, I mean, you cancel the drain for a while, especially if Connor's already used up his retrieval
Right, but you effectively just took that drain.
for one turn
Right.
versus blanking it for the rest of the game.
I mean, if you think that's the only, that's supposed like if like you have to
Or
expect that
blanking
that's
it
going
until
to.
he's got a further answer. Let me put it that way.
Yes, it just breaks cover. It doesn't kill you through, but it
It effectively
eliminates him as a
takes
threat.
it takes him
Yeah,
out of as a threat because once he's broken cover, he's stolen most likely,
yeah.
right? Because that's how he works. And then he no longer belongs to the dark side. Now, if you don't steal him, the dark side cannot play another copy of him, and then they're kind of boned.
Oh, the chat's saying that he did not sense
Okay, well then why is the quite a mercenary on the lost pile? Was
because
it
it's lo
cheese
it,
wargaming?
it's lo it's lost to break cover.
Oh, okay. And then he stole the U3PO.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right. Yeah. So that makes a lot more sense.
that
That
makes a
it's
lot more
like
sense than sensing it.
yeah, I was like sensing the quite a mercenary is weird, especially when you know that he has a clash. It's like,
Yeah, that would be a valid point.
anyway, thank you, chat. Yes, you're the logic of having the force push on top. Yeah, I'm with you on that. So P-59 got disarmed and then he moved away, and now we got Luke over there. Now, the play that we had just talked about is still live,
What play?
where Connor can battle, hit 2 things, and then clash
Oh yeah,
U3PO to end the battle.
yeah he can.
What does Clash have to do with U3? I was saying to save the sense for the Clash rather than spending it on quite a mercenary since sense is a lost in tropes.
Yeah, and it makes more sense to do that since he's got the clash in hand, and he knows that he's got the clash in hand.
Right. I was Catwell was asking in chat what does Clash have to do with U3PO? I think he thought we were suggesting that you would clash the U3PO, and absolutely you're right. That would be completely
That would be funny.
that would be a play that the bot would have made like a year ago. Like
Do we have any update on the bots by any chance?
I do not.
I don't
I know
either. I know they were
I
around for a
know that
while.
I know they're run by either one person or a small group of people.
Okay.
And so they only operate while they are around to run them.
Okay.
So they're not just automatic. Um, and I don't know if there were performance issues with GAMP while the bots were online. I don't think there were, but maybe sometimes there were. So
Okay.
yeah, I fortunately don't have any update for you guys on those.
Question for you. I think it's time for another trivia contest.
To get our last one out of here.
Yeah.
How many personas of U3PO are in the game?
That's a cheap question. We can do better than that. How many personas of Darth Vader are there?
That is a better question. Now, are we counting? We're counting
All.
Anakin and Vader, right?
All personas of the person who is at one point known as Anakin Skywalker or known as Darth Vader.
That makes it slightly tougher. All right.
Justin, are you looking this up? Because I don't know.
I did just look it up, yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Um, I will give it to Ketwall there because uh despite guessing more than one time, Ketwall is correct. There are 11 Darth Vader personas and 3 Anakin personas. And no, Bravo 1 does not count.
I think it should. I think it should, but it doesn't. You're right.
So the whole party is booked Lana Dobry to fly them over to Coruscant Caesar's palace.
Stubbly playing cat and mouse here.
Yep.
Stubbly
Said
still.
Vader first and then added Anakin. Fair enough, fair enough. Well, we'll give it to you. I gave it to you, Cutwell. You're good. You're good.
Um, Jared finally going up to space to set up free drains.
hmm
Stubbly still hasn't gone to space yet.
What character is that?
Where?
Vigo? It's Vigo. Yeah. I was trying to figure out what character is on the Jabba's palace or the Jabba's space user.
Oh, I I don't know.
Is it Vigo? I actually don't
I
think
think
it
it needs to be
is.
somebody a little bit beefier than that, unless he's got something.
Yeah. No, and I think Vigo is on the ground still.
Might be Mithra Nudu.
His name is not long enough for that.
Okay.
Hmm. Voyeur. Ooh. That's always a gut punch. You just grabbed something, saved your grab for the whole game, and then it's like, all right, Voyeur you. I'm like, oh. Looks like he named Wisa. Hit 3 cards.
That's rough.
Not great. Jonas Version ran home one, which totally blew ABS out. Yeah, home one is a pretty good one, especially if your opponent is not looking for it. Oh, Arica. Okay. Yeah. Arica would make sense for length of name and number of card type icons. Man, the stuff we have to get good at to try to to try to identify cards on the stream. Like, okay, so how long is the name and how many icons are in the title line?
Oh, and you have to know it upside down too.
Yeah. Well, the upside down's no big deal because I can't read it anyway. So it's just so yeah. Top of Subway's loss, I believe it said was an AI. I don't like sand.
Yeah. I think the reason JNAP had to go to space here is to set up resistance for that Drain of 3.
Yeah, because he has 2 drains of 3 now that Connor's presenting. So
What did we say the condition was for Connor winning this match? Winning on the ground, right?
I believe that's correct. Yes. This is certainly a more interactive match than Johnny Chu versus his son that we had last round.
Okay.
Bring him before me against pseudo hidden base is
Yeah.
not a game in which destinies were drawn very much.
I can't imagine that would be the case, yeah. Especially not when the person playing the hidden base fake out is Johnny Chia.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Ryan Connor needs to dig for Honshu and the Falcon here. You fight it or just go to Camino, take your chances with Zim. I would say it probably depends on what's tracked to the bottom. Because Connor's been able to, between Kit Fisto and Ray and communing, track his stuff around pretty reasonably. Um, so like, well, I guess if it's Arca up there, then it doesn't really matter. You're not going to be able to add to that in any way. But if you can have a 7 right in that spot, then that's pretty good. Like I might just fight then. It also covers damage to do that. So yeah, it could still outpower him. Now I guess Forlom is not committed here and there's no sand in play. So going to Camino and just hoping that Janep doesn't have Zuckuss and Forlom is not awesome. Because then you could just get your space totally blown out and you've got nothing.
Yep.
Um,
Jared just manipulating where he's putting characters at this point.
yeah. Whereas I was thinking if you fight at Coruscant and make him commit Zuckuss there, even if you lose, you can then retrieve the Hunter and the Falcon, track it back around, draw it with Kit Fisto or draw it with Ray, and then play it to Camino and do the drain race.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's gonna retrieve the 7 now with his Walkling. I wonder if he has used his Yoda already and we missed it, or if he has forgotten that Yoda does it too. I suppose the activation probably doesn't matter now. So, and he used the effect pull already. I just know I like to use Yoda first because I'm liable to forget Yoda. So,
Well, I like to use
we're,
Yoda first because it leaves you with more resources, right?
oh yeah, yeah, because you get the extra activation. I was just saying, like, I think we may have reached the point where the activation doesn't matter, so that part's irrelevant.
It looks like
Um,
Connor's got a lot of cards.
yeah, actually, it kind of does, doesn't it? This may be a matchup where it's decided on time in any case. So
But with Luke on the ground, he's completely abandoned his space package, other than Han Chewie and the Falcon.
maybe you can still do a weird like you can still potentially do a weird sequence where you deploy R2 and Red 5 with a different pilot and Leia's resistance transport,
What pilot
and then you
would you
can like
use in Yoda commuting?
well, they're all on the table, I think. So
That was my point.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah, off the top of my head,
Like, are you playing a random
uh
Poe? Well, there's a Han Chewie and the Falcon, so he's good. Just
yeah,
needs
yeah,
to make sure it survives, and then
tracked around to the 7.
yep.
In this case, I think he tracked the 7 for power, although he may have peaked at the top and left it there.
How do you peek at the top
JNAP's
of the reserve deck?
he peaked at the top of force pile, and
Oh, okay.
then when he retrieved, he used that force.
Yeah, okay.
So JNAP saved 2, so Greedo React would be tough. Yeah, yeah, that wouldn't be great. Oh, 7's the second card down. Okay, I thought he had activated down to the 7. Projective, sure. I assume he's just gonna pay. JNAP does not appear to have the Greedo React. He's thinking about it actually. Oh no, he's just drawing the shadows. Oh, all right.
What do you?
Impressive, most impressive for your power destiny, and then R2 and red for your battle destiny against a Probot. Ooh, that
That
that went
that seems
pretty.
really risky for
That went pretty.
JNAP.
That went pretty bad.
Yeah. You think JNAP's got the Hoojix or the Gick?
He shouldn't need a Gick. His 2 cards up there cover 12. He has 5 power and drew a 2. He actually may need the Gick.
Like, it's not going to be a ton of overflow, but it's going to be significant, right? Because every little bit counts.
Yeah. 8 plus 13 should be 21. Yeah.
I don't know how he made that move.
21 to 14. It should be both and am I just
I don't know
totally
how he went from
misremembering?
Coruscant to Camino. That thing's only got hyperspeed 6, right?
Pretty sure Hunter and the Falcon has 7.
Does it? Okay, I didn't know that.
Hunter and the Falcon's a ludicrous card.
Why is that card so good?
Hunter the Falcon has hyperspeed 7.
Wow.
Uh,
I know it gets a power
uh,
destiny, it's immune less than 5, it gets 2 passengers. I know all that. I just don't know the hyperspeed because I never run away.
okay. Yeah, Ryan, you were right. It's both in one. Yeah. Yeah, that was a really good voyeur. Oh well. Or did he just play another one? He just played another one. Yep. Yeah, grabbing the Force Lightning seemed weird. Like, I can kind of understand the logic, but like, yeah, he's gonna take so much damage from this voyeur now. Oh, hey, a Corrin Horn. See, that's the one. There's the pilot for R2 and Red 5.
Okay.
He should not ever. He should not probably do that. So, Force
Corn.
Lightning would eventually kill a Saber if he has to move to block over and over. Yeah. I mean, it requires a lot of. It requires a fair bit of tracking with a card that you can't move around. Right, like not the Force Lightning, but you'd have to. Well, actually, no, that's not true because you would force. You only have to Force Lightning Anakin. So I wonder if we can infer that grabbing Force Lightning says that Connor doesn't have free ride combo.
Which seems questionable.
Yeah, free ride combo is certainly a card that I would have considered playing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Was he has to track a 5, not a 6. I was thinking he had to track a 6, but Force Lightning is drop +1. So
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, there's a lot of used 5s that he could do it with. So that part of the point does not apply. Oh, and the no escape's already burned. So really, Jane App needs like Flame's Fist, right? I think Leia moved over to the city. I think I saw Connor do that. 2-6. Feast or famine on our destinies.
That's a good line.
Oh,
Looks like
five
a
force.
Zuckuss with 4 long. That's what that is,
Interesting.
right?
Yep.
Well, that shuts off the power destiny.
Yeah. I mean, you're still 50-50 on whether this battle's good or terrible, right? Like,
Well, it depends if he's got backup or it's tracking.
well, he just shuffled his reserves, so he's definitely not tracking.
That's a good point.
Oh, he's gonna take the 50-50 shot.
Looks like he drew the low or the high. Emperor, right?
Yeah, Emperor was the high.
Okay. Would Connor draw?
I think he accidentally drew his battle destiny as well. He accidentally drew his power destiny, so I didn't see what the actual battle destiny was because he drew it for power destiny, but it wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be battle.
Well, I mean, isn't it the same destiny?
It is, but I didn't see what it was, is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay.
So wait, what is happening? Okay. It was that they're tracking us, so he drew a 4.
So Hanchu and the Falcon goes lost, and Zuckuss sticks around.
Yep. Loses 1 for it. that like wasn't great, but
And that's what I mean by you got to take risks sometimes. Because, I mean, his back's kind of to the wall here. Like, if he doesn't go to space and establish free drains, he's going to have a hard time doing a whole lot, especially with Connor already committed with Luke on the ground. And him seemingly unable to kick Luke off the ground.
yeah. Yeah, deck matchup is Yoda communing against Agents of the Black Sun.
I think Connor's playing this about as good as you can play it, to be honest with you, other than the one clash thing that I had a problem with.
Yeah, I think so. Now, I wonder if he will if he's I wonder if he's already used his commuting text to do the peak. Because if not, he could get the five back around and do the fight into Miss Hunter again.
Let's see, is he retrieving the Hanjui and the Falcon?
I think he was thinking about it and then recirculated and then is rethinking his decision. But I think Brain is activate now.
Yeah, okay.
So he has not retrieved it. Then he activated and drew with Ray, or activated one, drew with Ray. Three. Oh, he's what is so he activated one and now is draining. Avoiding Voyeur. Sure. Okay. Now he's just gonna like
But
draw all three Weezes for for Weapon Destiny, and then
I mean, he just loses a whole turn here?
well I would imagine is gonna battle because he can battle for free with Anakin.
Okay.
I don't know what they're Janet may be talking him out of that or something. I'm not sure.
Well, that's part of the heart of the cards, right? The game within the game.
Yeah. I yeah, it feels like outsmarting yourself. Yeah, I would agree. I don't know. Somebody conceded.
Yeah, I'm not sure who.
Maybe that Connor conceded and
Yeah.
he was like thought that was maybe his only way.
And then JNet pointed out to him why that was not the only way,
No,
or it wasn't a valid way.
I think he just decided this wasn't worth going for it wasn't worth even really going for this. I'm not
Hmm.
too sure why the concession there because I don't actually know who won
I'm confused as to who won that. Yeah.
who won that game. I'm pretty sure it's JNAP, but
I'm pretty sure
based
it's
on
JNet from the board state too, but you
well,
never know.
based on actually Connor's signing it and maybe both based on the body language, I certainly thought that JNAP won,
Yeah.
but
But on the other
but
hand,
I'm not
JNAP
sure.
extended the hand first, so who knows?
Well, we'll get one of them in here and we'll talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird finish. Well, I'm not too sure what to make of that. Um,
Connor Britton.
AOBS certainly seems to make for
Connor
interesting
Brenton
games,
6
though.
0,
Yeah,
guys.
he won the game on time. I'm
On
gonna
time?
yeah.
Oh, he won on
He won
time.
on time.
Yes.
Oh,
You can go ahead
got it.
and
We're not doing the interview, right? Or are we?
yeah, we're not gonna hit
We're
time.
not going to do
I
the interview.
no, probably not
Just
because
say
if
we're
we're at
back.
time, yeah.
Okay.
So we will
We're
not be
back,
talking to
everybody.
Connor.
All right. We'll
All right.